signed to his label in 2021 and dumped the victim's body.
In the indictment, it's a phone call allegedly from Big U to his son, right? And he says, don't talk about the murder of RW to nobody. Well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Dayon, were lovers.
This is a rumor that this guy RW was having a gay relationship with one of Big U's sons.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, why would you shoot the boyfriend? He'll just go get another boyfriend if that's the case.
Get another boyfriend if that's the case. Okay, this one's deeply disturbing, and honestly, it just might be the darkest story to ever come out of the West Coast. Hip-hop world word on the street is that Big U, yes, the so-called community kingpin and OG might have had blood on his hands in the 2021 killing of a young man named Rayshawn Williams, and while the public's been led to believe it was about a diss track those close to the situation say the real reason is way more shocking, so twisted it could shake the whole industry. The whisperers, they're saying Rayshawn wasn't just a kid with a Mick, he was allegedly
The rumor that this guy RW was having a gay relationship with one of Big U's sons.
Short execution style may have been in a secret relationship with Dion and Big U. He allegedly couldn't handle the truth, not just because of personal shame, but because of how it looked. And when you're a powerful figure running a street empire, image is everything. The rumor that this guy RW was having a gay relationship with one of Big U's sons. What makes this even more heartbreaking?
Now they're saying, well, Big U's motive wasn't the rap song. It was that he found out that the rapper and his son, Dayon, were lovers.
Later made it to the NFL playing for the Los Angeles Chargers. That's how the bond between Rayshawn and Dion first started, and according to the underground buzz, that's exactly what Big U couldn't stomach, but of course not everyone's buying them. Rumor industry insider Whack 100 came out strong, saying he's known Dion forever and never saw anything feminine or suspect in his behavior. Now they're saying, well, Big U's motive wasn't that rap song, it was that he found out that the rapper and his son Dion were lovers. Whack swears Dion was straight ass. They come, but let's be real, people live double lives every day, especially in spaces where being vulnerable could literally get you killed. I've been knowing this young man since he's been about 7-8 years old, right? There's nothing feminine or nothing gay about Dion Henry, but that hasn't stopped the rumors from spreading. Still, that hasn't slowed down the rumors. If anything, they've exploded. A lot of folks are saying the diss track excuse doesn't hold up. I mean, if every rapper got killed for throwing shade, half that industry would be 6 feet under. So now people are rewatching old clips of Dion catching so-called feminine mannerisms they never noticed before, and whether or not that's true, it adds fuel to an already blazing fire. If Rayshawn was dating Big U's son, and if Big U thought Rayshawn might expose it, then that gives this whole tragedy a much darker edge. Some say Big U snapped because Rayshawn had leverage. He knew something that could ruin Big U's reputation, and maybe that was enough to make him act. But there's still the other theory, that music drama, the disc before Rayshawn became a rapper. He was a football player with big dreams. He was even getting recruited by UCLA, but an injury ended all of that. After losing his shot at college ball in 2018, he was back at square one, and during
referring to Big U as bro, that makes some money. And that unnamed rapper may get shot in the face for thinking that his use of the studio and representation by Unique Music is
at school like it was a trophy. Big U kicked him out after that. Still, despite the fallout, Big U reportedly kept helping him with his music dreams. That's when young Judah Ray's rap alter ego was born. By 2020, he dropped a project called Golden Dreams. It was clear Rayan had hope he was chasing something real at first. His tracks weren't getting much traction, but he kept going, and the more he rapped, the better he got. He played with auto-tune, pay music, even name drop Nippy by calling himself Ray Hustle. Online, he was living like a star, posting up in fancy houses, flying out to Vegas. But behind all that glam, the drama with Big U was boiling. Big U was allegedly paying for those Vegas trips and music sessions, but instead of grinding in the studio, Rayan was out there. Then came that track, the disc Rayan recorded a song where he basically threw Big U under the bus, called him a bro that made some money, like he was just a lucky hustler, not a street king. But the scariest part, he straight up predicted his own death. He rapped, "This song can get me killed for thinking it's funny." And he referenced being shot in the face with a .38 that would leave no trace, referring to Big U as bro that makes some money, and that unnamed rapper may get shot in the face for thinking that his use of the studio and representation by Unique Music is funny. And just 5 days later, that exact thing happened. The Las Vegas police found Rayan's body dumped in a ditch. He had been shot in the face with a revolver, just like he said. That details were too specific to ignore. Suddenly, the theory that he got caught lacking over a disc song didn't feel so far-fetched. Law enforcement immediately had their eyes on Big U, and what they found next, it just got darker. But the track was eerie given what happened next. Just days later, the rapper was shot in the face. According to records, Big U's music label, Unique Music, paid for Rayan to fly out to Vegas in January 2021. Official reason: a week-long recording session. They booked him an Airbnb and studio time, but Rayan missed a session. That set off alarms. Big U and his right-hand man, Sylvester Robinson, didn't wait. They drove to Vegas themselves. They pressed Rayan, asking why he ghosted the studio. He said he didn't have a ride. The next day, the three of them went to the studio together. No one knows what went down in that room, but what happened afterward, it's straight out of a crime thriller. On January 24th of 2021, Big arrived to his studio and RW was there, recording until around midnight. A little after 12:30 a.m., Big left the studio and his phone stopped reporting his location. Around 1:00 a.m., surveillance footage shows Rayan returning to the Airbnb. He gets out of a car, picks up a suitcase, then gets right back into the same vehicle that was supposed to be his final night in
Gene Henley Jr., a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and other felonies.
The Airbnb the suitcase got back into the car and left. W wasn't seen again here. Wasn't even supposed to leave Vegas until the next day, but he never returned to the Airbnb. Instead, his body was found on the side of the road near Interstate 15. Witness told police Big showed up at the studio around 3:00 a.m. soaked in sweat, or maybe water. He claimed he had just come from the gym, but hours later, police found Rayan's body in the desert. Even worse, Big U allegedly tried to cover his tracks. Prosecutors say he removed key equipment from the studio and told someone to delete the surveillance footage. They suspect something went down inside that studio, a fight, a confrontation, maybe even a final threat. And whatever it was, Big U didn't want anyone to see it. Witnesses told detectives an associate of Big U removed the video recording equipment from the studio a few days after the homicide, including video that would have shown RW and Big U at the studio before he was murdered after the murder Big U reportedly got strategic. He had one of his friends stay at his house and drive his car that way. If the police were watching his home or tracking his movements, they'd be fooled, they thought. He was home, but Big U, he was already gone. To this day, no one knows exactly why Rayanne was killed. Was it the diss? Was it the rumored relationship with Dion, or was it both? What's certain is that this wasn't just another street hit. The feds got involved just 1 month after Ryan's body was found. The FBI launched a federal investigation into Big U and his empire, Big U Enterprise. That's when the full scope of this thing started to unravel. When the feds cracked open Big U Enterprise, they weren't just looking at one murder, they were staring down an entire organization. And in March 2025, the hammer dropped. Big U and 18 other Crips were hit with full-blown RICO charges. That's right, federal racketeering, the kind of stuff they throw at mafia bosses, not just music mogul. When the indictment came out, police didn't even have Big U in custody. They thought he'd already vanished into the wind. After all, this wasn't just any. Big U was the leader of an operation that allegedly spanned cities, industries, and dirty money pipelines. Eugene Henley Jar, a career criminal known as Big U, who used his contacts and leadership role in the Crips criminal street gang, the entertainment industry, to further his own criminal enterprise. An enterprise engaged in murder, extortion, robbery, human trafficking, COVID fraud, and others felonies. Many of those charged were part of the notorious Rollins 60s Crips. But Big U, he had branched off and built something of his own, something cleaner, looking more professional. He called it Big U Enterprise, and on the surface, it looked legit. He had a record label at charity. He partnered with the city of LA and posed as a reformed leader, helping young kids escape the streets. He was invited to panels. He wore suits. He took photos with city officials, but behind the curtain, it was alleged